Hi everyone. Today we are going to be talking about breathing and variations. Variations within the breath, within the movement, and within your thinking. So find a comfortable seat somewhere in your house and let's get started. All right, so today it's all about the different variations that we can do with these things. The first thing I want you to think about is just your breath. And you're thinking, how many ways can I breathe? Well, it's surprising that we can breathe a lot of different ways. So the first way is just to take a breath in through your nose and out your nose. You do that a couple of times. You're thinking, okay, this is nothing new. Another way is to breathe in through the nose and out your mouth. And you do that a couple of times. This is all about what works best for you and what kind of day you're having. Sometimes the nose breathing will help you when you're having a bad day, or it just depends on the day and it depends on you. So the third way might be what I like to call ocean breath. This is what yoga calls ocean breath. You find a little bit of resistance, a soft resistance in the back of your throat, and you just breathe in nice and slow and steady. It kind of feels like it sounds like an ocean. You can do that a couple times. It might take you a couple tries to get that one. Another way you can think of it is to think that the air is collecting around the sternum. That's a third way. A fourth way is to breathe in the same way and out your mouth. Another way is to breathe in like you're sipping through a really small straw, those kinds of straws that you use to stir coffee or a drink. And it would be that almost sounds like the waves coming in and out also on a beach. And you can vary that too. You can breathe in that way and just out that way. A lot of different ways you can breathe in and out. Whatever works for you, that's what you want to work on or choose. So whenever we do a breathing exercise, you can pick any of those. You can sift through all of those. It really just is up to you. Find that variety helpful, hopefully. All right, so we're going to do a couple more, and I'm going to go through the process and pick probably all 5 of those, and we'll just do some breathing together. I may count you in, just follow my lead, and if it's not what you're looking for today, just follow your own lead. It's probably better anyway. So here we go. We're going to breathe in. And just keep breathing. And as you're doing this, start to be mindful of your spine, the integrity of your posture, your shoulders. You could even do this while you're rounding your shoulders. You can sip through. Is your chest falling when you exhale? Try to keep your chest from falling. And as you can see, I'm just mixing them up, just finding a variety of things. You might now start to do some head rolls or just tilt your head to one side and breathe into that stretch. And start to put movement to that. And if it's too slow, move a little faster. And this is the next thing I'm going to start talking about with variety of speed. You can pick calm and slow. You can pick medium and steady. Or you can pick very energetic and a more aggressive tempo. Whatever you're looking for. You might be sluggish, so pick a faster tempo. You may be anxious, pick a slower tempo. So just find the variety day to day, because we're never the same. We never think the same, and we're never feeling the same as we wake up every morning. Every day is just a little different. With allergy season right now, you might need a lot of this just to clear out your sinuses. If you can even get air in to go to the nose, sometimes with sinus allergies, you get all stuffed up. And a lot of times, when you start to breathe like this, especially if you try to work it into the nose, it can start to loosen that up. It's amazing how many different ways you can breathe. You can breathe with your focus right into the sternum, opening from the center out. Or you can breathe a more low breath and feel like it's going into the belly. Obviously, we can't put air into the belly, but as your diaphragm comes down, as your lungs fill up, it might let your belly relax and feel like it's filling up with air. So you could try that. I mean, any breath you're going to take, it's going to be into the lungs. But let's do that again. Find which variant feels good for you. You may have to breathe with movement. If you're one of those people that have to be moving, you can find the movement, and you can also use this as keeping still, but having the breath be the movement for you. You might start to round your back and breathe in, and pull back as you blow out. And breathe in. And for a more medium tempo, you might just find a walking pace of like a pant. And what this does is that it starts to get the diaphragm to go up and down a little more efficiently than if you're just sitting there doing nothing or just working at a desk. And what that does is the diaphragm acts as a pump into the body. It helps the blood circulation, it helps the energy, the oxygen. So you might just find a steady pace of a pant. And try to keep your chest up. And you might go faster. Or you might go slower. The other thing that you might find a variety to do is how you inhale. Are you inhaling on a kind of an eh? Are you inhaling on an ah? Are you inhaling on an O? I can tell you this, the ahs and the O's are going to help open up the throat more. And what I mean by that is not giving it more space in the back, but it helps to just let your larynx just fall down. And you can try that. And you might monitor what your throat's doing, that Adam's apple or the larynx. What direction is it going when you breathe in? Mine just kind of feels like it falls down, as if to say your larynx might be here, and when you start to breathe in on that O or ah, it starts to do this. And it relaxes. And that's what you're looking for. You're trying to find an openness. If you're one of those people that wear a mask all day at work, this is a really good way to get that oxygen at the end of the day, to refresh your system, get your diaphragm pumping, get your energy and your blood flow going, with all that C2O inhaling all day. You want to get fresh air, and you want to get a variety of different techniques that you can use throughout your workday and before and after work. So I hope that all helps, and the next segment we'll do is standing. So take your time. You might want to repeat this segment, or we'll just meet in standing. Okay, so now we are standing, and we're looking for more variations. So some of you might need to move more calmly and slowly. Others might need to move at a walking tempo, and that's plenty. And some of you just have to keep moving all the time and fast, lots of high energy. So we're just going to I'll try to demonstrate all levels, but when we do these gentle, mindful twists, one in which we do this, and then we gently twist to the right, and we go up, and gently twist to the left. That might not be enough for you, so you might want to start there and then eventually grow your practice into a more medium. And if that's not enough, or if you're looking for something more, you can just, instead of doing that quickly, you can do a swing, an arm swing, and we've done that before. And start breathing and mindfully twisting so that you bring head over heart, heart over pelvis while you're doing it. And you can take that as fast or as slow as you want. You can swing your arms around. You can float your arms around if that feels better. You can just maybe look to the right and look to the left and lean if it's just too much on your back. And just feel your weight shifting from one leg to the other. All of those are good and helpful for all of you. People that like to move, you might want to do something slow. People that like to do slow, you might challenge yourself and do something a little quicker. It just depends on what your body can take. So that's the first thing. The second thing is when we do our arms up, we stand sometimes in an X. We can be here. And you might want to keep your arms really straight, and that might feel really good. Always keeping your knees mindful and not locked. But this might be too much for you. So you might just think of it as a big beach ball, and you might want to round your arms if your elbows don't really straighten out that well. And as we lean to one side or the other, you might just be here. If these are too little and you want something more, you might zip up your legs and do a steeple grip and just go straight up so that your ears touch the muscles of your arms. Keep your shoulders down and just try to straighten your arms. And that's sometimes challenging, especially when you're keeping the integrity of the body. Everything feeling in the front that it's pulling nice and up, and everything in the back feeling like it's grounding down. So we can try that. Steeple grip for some of you, and some of you might be here in this nice victory V, and some of you might be in that beach ball. Try the variety. Try all of them if you want. Here's the V, beach ball, and steeple. Shoulders down and terrific. Find what feels good. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Whatever grip you're having, you might take it to the left and breathe in as you come up, and exhale and take it to the right. And you can try that on all ways. There's actually even another way. You can grab one elbow, or excuse me, one wrist, and pull that wrist to the side. You can do it that way. Always in the stretch, you want to breathe out. Breathe in before the stretch, and then breathe out while you're stretching. Breathe in. You might take the steeple grip and bump your hips to the opposite side. That's another variation. Breathe in as you come back to center. And as you go to the other side, which for me is left, I bump my hips to the right and feel that nice stretch. And breathe in and come down. Terrific. The other thing you might want to think about is where you're going to put your hands when we're doing side things. And we've talked about that in a previous clinic, but you might be straight out. You might be having goalpost arms. You might be doing the hands on the shoulders. You could do praying hands, or gently on the top of the head. All of those work. For what, you say? Well, when we're doing something side for side, if we're doing a train breath, you can have your hands out to really challenge the arms. But what you have to remember, if you're one of those people that like to have those there's videos out there that work on your arm strength, and you do circles and things like that. Remember that the strength comes with the rib cage first. If you keep that rib cage nice and up, then do your arms. It's much easier because the core is almost holding your arms better than if your arms are out there hanging with no support. Your rib cage and the way you're pulling in is much more of a helpful support to your arms when you're doing arm work. So keep that in mind when we're standing or sitting and your hands are out for a long period of time. You're really working on that strength of the rib cage, and that's what you want when you're breathing. You got to have a strong rib cage, a pliable rib cage, so that the lungs can start to give you a little bit more breath. So I'm going to do mine right here with goalposts. Some people call it cactus arms. So mine just aren't jaggy. But anyway, I hope yours aren't either. Breathe in and do a train breath, which starts slow. Keep that elbow with the same height as the shoulder, and you're getting faster. And then you're gradually slowing it down. You might be here. You might be here, actually. Anything that will help the integrity of the rib cage. That's what you're looking for. I hope some of these varieties help you in your standing. The other thing that you can do is you don't always have to stand. You don't always have to sit. You could sit Indian style, or you could lay down on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Those also work out. Even when you're stretching this way, it feels so good sometimes to lay on your back and stretch your arms over your head, and your feet just stretch as far as they can. And maybe I'll demonstrate that when we fix our cameras to do so, but those are the other things. You don't always have to sit, and you don't always have to stand. So I hope that helps, and I'll meet you in our last segment sitting down. So another thing that's got a lot of variations is pattern breathing. And you can do pattern breathing with or without your voice, actually. And I'll demonstrate a few. You can do an inhale and an exhale and an inhale and then make a sound. So you go, oh, and you just sigh it out. Oh, just let it out. Oh, inhale, exhale, inhale, make a sound. Do one more together. And that might feel good for you. And you can project when you make that sound. You can sing a note if you're a singer. You might just need to alleviate some stress. Don't worry if your family thinks you're crazy. It's all good. I don't think you're crazy. Another way you can do that is just to do some rhythmic patterns of just the breath. And you can do an out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. You might even practice saying it before you actually practice doing it. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. So you take a breath in, and we try it. All right, so you can, again, you can you can figure out where you want to put your hands. You can have them praying, you can have them goalposts, you have them hands on your hips, you can keep them on your knees, you can put them on your seat, up here, whatever feels good for you. And we'll do one more of those. We breathe in, keep the integrity of the sternum up, and here we go. Terrific, and I find that 4 in a set is good. All right, so the other way you can do it is reverse it and do in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And again, you might want to practice saying that. In, out, in, out, in, out. Here we go. This time you're not going to take a ready inhale. You're just going to start on the inhale. Ready and go now. That one always seems to be the trickier one for a lot of people. We'll try one more set of those. 1, 2, ready, in. And I used the variations of the breathing that we talked about at the beginning of the segment, that you can do that. You can do it as an ocean breath and slow it down. You can do it faster, vary the speed, all kinds of things. Another thing for those steady people out there is to just pick a steady tempo and do 4 pants and then 4 notes, but never stop the panting. Like that. You can do a ha or a haw or a ho. Another variation that we talked about at the beginning of our segment today. Here we go. Ready, and here we go. Ho, 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 and you're done. That's also really good because it just gets that diaphragm pumping. And you can take that at various speeds. You can take it faster, or you can take it really slow. Any of that is good for you. All of it is good for you. I think for today, that's probably enough for your brain and for your body to digest. Visit this often so that you can find and remember all the variations we talked about and incorporate them in other clinics that you hopefully are watching. And I hope that you're having a safe and mindful time at home. I wish your families and you the best under these circumstances with this pandemic. And I hope that these breathing exercises just help your energy level, maybe clear your mind a little bit, and bring you something to look forward to do each day. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.